Good day, welcome back to Talking Points. And we're excited today because we have in our studio an award winning human rights advocate, and he's going to talk to us about issues concerning human rights and some of the wahala that we currently have in the country. So please let's welcome Barrister Haya King. You're welcome.
Thank you so much for having me in your studio once more. No, in your studio for the first time. It's a beautiful one anyway.
Thank you.
Yeah, for a start, I think it's a good place.
Thank you.
It's a wonderful studio.
Thank you. So today the NLC is supposed to start a strike, and everybody is apprehensive. Everybody is worried if the strike will hold or it will not hold. And there are also issues around the subsidy matter. People are running high tariffs, high um, rates for fuel and all that. So we'd like to hear from you as a human rights
You have a
advocate
WhatsApp message from WhatsApp.
what this entails.
Well, first and foremost, I am told that not I'm told, the strike is on. Today, the 3rd of June 2024, the strike is on. I was supposed to be in court this morning, and we got to the court and everywhere was locked up. We couldn't access the courts. So the strike is on, and I support the strike completely. I am with them. I am with the civil servants. I am with the NLC. I am with TUC. Because it's very, very sad. It's very, very absurd that people will be or should be treated like animals, by fellow humans. Your fellow human treating you as if you're not a human being. I mean, I heard that the government is pricing them 60,000 a minimum wage. For God's sake, for God's sake.
When
For, I mean,
cost of living is up,
oh my God, for God's sake. Are they normal? Are they the politicians? Are they normal? Are they reasonable? They are not. They're not reasonable. Some weeks ago, you just jacked the price of electricity from 66 naira to 225 naira, 250 naira. Later, you now say you have reduced it to 225. I mean, where does something like that happen? And we are talking about a bag of rice is close to 100,000. A rubber of Gary is 6,000 as of today. I bought 4,000 3 weeks ago. I bought 5,000 last week. Today I'm told it's 6,000. A rubber of Gary containing about, I don't know whether it's up to 20 cups. I mean, 6,000 naira. So, and you want to pay somebody 60,000 and you have not given him accommodation. You have not giving him a free school for his children. I'm talking about civil servants now. Leave private people out first. Civil servants. No accommodation, no medical, no incentive for their children's school fees, no electricity payment for them. Some of them, 60,000 naira will not even be enough to pay electricity for a month. I mean, what kind of country is this? For me, the government is extremely insensitive, and they say people are asking for 400,000. And what is 400,000? What is 400,000? I was just I left my gen, the petrol gen, the diesel gen, and I was using the petrol gen. So this morning, when we heard that they have gone on strike and we heard that they've shut down the national grid, I called the generator man to come and fix the diesel gen. As I'm talking to you, I bought whatever they call they said is 7,000. I bought the other one again today. As I'm talking to you now, the filter, whatever. I think I have spent close to 40,000 this morning.
and that's what
The man, the boy, the mechanic is still in my house working on the gen before I came out now. Very soon I will call me to bring his workmanship and all that. And this is the kind of country we live in, because this night there won't be light. Tomorrow from there won't be light. There won't be power. And you are telling me the other day you increase the petroleum, product and all that. For me, it's absurd. I support the strike. Let them go on strike. Let for once, let government sit up for once. And I hear that the Attorney General is threatening them that have interim injunction. And I was asking, this interim injunction, is it interim injunction or interlocutory injunction or perpetual injunction? Whatever injunction, And because this strike is not, when Labour declared this strike, they said it was going to start on the from the 1st of June. And that was like 1 month ago. They were still talking, and you are telling, you are now quoting section 41 of Trade Union Act that if you go on strike without giving 15 days notice. What the one they gave you before now, is it not notice? I know that I have heard about this strike for the past 3 weeks. It's not new. 3 or 1 month. The Labour said, if you don't negotiate, if you don't pay us, if you don't agree on something, we are going on strike. We are going on strike. And they went on strike, and you are threatening them. My dear brother, these are human beings. Some of these Labour people will tomorrow become governors and senators, like Adam Oshiomhole. Where is Adam Oshiomhole? Where is Adam Oshiomhole in all this? You can't talk to your colleagues, Adam Oshiomhole. You can't call your colleagues, the president who is your colleague, the senate president, the governors, and talk to them. You were once champion of good governance, champion of democracy, champion of labor. You were once like that. And suddenly you have crossed the other side. You are now silent. No, no, no. It's unfair. It's very, very sad. It's very, very unfair. Very, very unfair. What the way they are treating labor in this country. I am talking about, I am living, like I said, I am living out the civil side, the private people like us. We will fend for ourselves. We buy our own petrol for our house. We buy for the car. We buy for the office. Every day, I spend an average of 50,000 naira every day. Today, I bought 20,000 naira fuel for my car. For the office, I bought 15,000 today. For the house, they are going to be bringing diesel. 50 liter is 60,000 today.
So now it takes me to a new question. In all of this, what can the human rights advocates like yourself, what can they do for Nigeria?
We are doing what we're supposed to do. What I'm doing now is what we have been doing, talking. Like I am calling out Adams Oshiomhole. He's part of this government. I'm calling him out. Let him go to the president and sit down with the president and solve this problem. I wouldn't be surprised if some of the labor leaders today join politics and they turn around. For me, I think it's hypocrisy. It's extremely very, very bad. We have been talking. My other colleague, Falana, he has been talking. We've been talking. We can't do anything. I don't have political power. I don't have the financial power. This is the only thing I have to talk, to criticize, to tell them what they are doing is wrong. What they are doing is wrong. Now, let me tell you, that is why corruption cannot stop. You cannot fight corruption. Tell me any government that can fight corruption. You can't fight corruption. Okay, did you know what happened yesterday? Is it yesterday? Yesterday in Abuja, I heard that whether it was the IGO or whoever gave orders for soldiers to go and evict members of one barracks in Abuja. They said they went there yesterday morning. The police people, from what is in the news, they said early morning yesterday, they besieged the barracks, cordoned the barracks, took over their gates, and they was harassing them. Then the policemen mobilized and they came out with their own rifle. I think it was at that point to avoid fatality, to avoid people dying, so the army left. What happened? They said they want to renovate the place. And they promised they were going to compensate them. I don't know what you mean by compensating them. These are policemen risking their lives. These are policemen. While you are sleeping, they are guiding you. Policemen are guiding the president. Policemen are guiding the IG. Policemen are guiding the Senate president. All the governors. They need police to be to guide them. And these policemen, they are in their barracks. You say you want to renovate the barracks, and you now take army to go and forcefully evict them. You have not given them alternate quarters. These are men and women with families, children. You have not given them an alternative quarters. You went there to forcefully take them out. For me, I pity Nigeria. I sorry for Nigeria. I weep for Nigeria. These are people dying for us. Look at what you just did. It's in the news. So that is very sad. My dear sister will continue to talk. That's why we are here, to talk, to tell them the truth. Let the truth be told. Let the truth be told. And they said compensation. They didn't tell us the nature of compensation. For me, why don't you give them, policeman will be transferred from here to Sokoto, no accommodation. From Sokoto, go to police headquarters, you see people sleeping in the open, policemen sleeping on the open ground there. It's not a new thing. You just transfer somebody with family. Come and go to Sokoto, no accommodation. From Sokoto to Port Harcourt, no accommodation. They'll be sleeping on. Why wouldn't they be corrupt? Why wouldn't that man be corrupt and the man is having a gun? Do you know what one of my policeman, a friend, told me? He said, bros, if I carry my gun, wear my uniform, I can travel from here to Sokoto without 1,000 in my pocket, 100 naira in my pocket. And before I get to Sokoto, I'll get money. I said, how are you going to do it? He said, I will carry gun and I will get money. So we just stand by the roadside, watch somebody. As I just see one driver say, hey, stop here, hey, stop here. Why are you driving like that? I'll make money. I think I stop 3, 4. I am telling you, you get told me and it's true. So why won't you? Because the government have refused to cater for him, take care of him. When we come to solutions, I will tell you what we are going to do for some of these things to if the government, they will take advice.
All right, sir. Thank you. Now, there's this new trend. All of us are learning how to sing the new national anthem. So we're wondering, some people are wondering, is this our problem? Will the national anthem solve our problem? So please, we want to hear from you. What your thoughts are?
Sincerely speaking, I don't see the change of the national anthem as anything significant and to add any value. But again, that national anthem, I think, was a better one. We sang it in primary school. I remember singing that national anthem in primary school in the 70s. And I sang it before we know it. They changed to this new one. And I have also come to realize recently, when this new national anthem, this old reversal to the old one came up, that it was actually written by the British. Then the one we've just discarded, that we have just called the old one now, because the old one is becoming the new one. So the new one is now going to be old one. So the immediate national anthem, I'm told, was written by a Nigerian who even died as a pauper. I've forgotten that his name. I see something Taiwo. I think I have forgotten. But even the man that designed our national flag died as a pauper too, and all that. That is why I said the former one somehow makes sense to say the labors of our heroes past shall not be in vain. But unfortunately, the labors of our heroes past are in vain. My father also worked for the federal government 35 years and gratuity was not paid till the man died. I left the money. So government, you are still owing me. One day I will come for it. The man was owed 36 months before he died. And when the stress and all that, I decided to let it go. And so not that I let it go, one day I will come for it. So, I mean, it's so sad. But national anthem or no national, new or old, for me, what's changed? What has it got to do with the economy? We are talking about the economy. A government that is only interested in tasking people, a government that is only interested in looking for what to task and how to raise money. That's what the government does. And you are raising this money not from hard labor. You don't want to work. You don't want to even the product you have. You don't want to even add value to it. You just get your crude oil, you sell off. You don't add value to it. You just want to catch the people, come and pay money. Somebody again mooted an idea, I think some months ago, that everybody that owns a car should come and pay 1,000. I mean, what kind of people are you? Is that how to run government? Is that how to raise money to run government? Why don't you think of business that the government can do? All the businesses that the government went into collapse. Our national carrier, Nigeria Airways, collapse. Are you aware? Jokuta collapse, for everything collapsed. Nothing owned by government is working. Even here in River State, the glass industry that was owned by Rivers and Bayelsa collapsed. And all I fought for them. Let that place be revived. I'm also using this opportunity to call on Sim, the governor of Rivers State, revive that place. Go on. Some people went to buy that place. Well, before Wike came, they went to buy that place. I called on Wike when he was governor. Go and pay those people and take back that glass industry and revive that place and create job. If you create job, I mean, people will be happy. People crime will reduce. A lot of things will fall into place. Like this power we are talking about. You want to task the people to collect the power. Somebody has just come with I think it is labor. When I read their circular this morning, they said is apartheid way of distribution of electricity. I've never heard of it anywhere in the world. Where you say this one will pay this amount, this one will pay. Who brings this idea to politicians? Somebody will just moot one idea, sit in his bedroom, bring out one idea, get one politician and get it into place, and the thing will begin to trend and they'll begin to implement. Why would you come and begin to say this one pay this amount, this one pay this amount? They call it apartheid bands. Apartheid. I completely agree. Apartheid discriminatory way of distributing electricity. Electricity is not a luxury. Electricity is not a luxury, it's a necessity. If you put it in place, most of the problems you are having as a government will reduce. If you put electricity in place, for instance, if you put electricity in place, I have electricity in my office, I have electricity in my house 24 hours, okay? I have electricity in my office 24 hours, in my house 24 hours. I will only buy fuel for my car. I will pay that electricity bill that you want me to pay. Oh yes, I will pay it. Electricity is in my office, I will pay for it. But right now, you are paying for electricity, you are paying for diesel, you are paying for fuel. Even though I still have meter in my house and this office to recharge, I still buy fuel. But if I know that I don't buy fuel anymore for the office, I only buy for car. I will channel that resources to other meaningful ventures. I will. But no light in the house, no light in the office, no light anywhere, no light in my car. Oh my God, there is a problem. Big problem. We are subjecting Nigerians to suicidal position, suicidal the circumstances that we cannot extricate ourselves.
Maybe the spirit behind this new national anthem will help us. Well, let's come back to Rivers State. Recently, I went to the correctional center in Port Harcourt, and I was privileged to speak with some of the female inmates. And they told me something, and that's why I'm bringing it to the public. They said jail delivery is tilted towards the male, that most of the time the females don't get to be pardoned. They only take the men out. So you're a lawyer, you're a human rights advocate, so you...
Well, I don't know the ratio or the proportion of the male that is being released and the female. I know that I have accompanied the Rivers State Chief Judge, my Lord, the Honorable Justice S.C. Amadi, to jail delivery as a vice chairman of Human Rights Committee of the NBA. I have accompanied him, I think, 2 occasions. Even this year, I think I've been to that prison. I still have the list. They give us the list before we go. We need to have the list of the people that are qualified for girl delivery. And I can tell you that I have seen women being released. I have seen women. In fact, there was a woman I particularly insisted that she must be released. Not just this chief judge. I've also accompanied the last chief judge. That's my Lord, the Honorable Justice Lamekara. I accompanied her last year, 2 years ago, when she was still the CJ. I went with her twice. This present CJ, I've gone with him too. That is my Lord, the Honorable Justice S.C. Amadi. And I saw women. I have the list, and I saw the women being released too. Except if they are saying that women are not being released, I don't think it's correct. I don't think it's absolutely correct. But if they are saying that the proportion of the women that are being released, they are small compared to men, then the other question is, how many men do we have in custody and how many women do we have in custody? I can tell you for sure that the men in Port Harcourt prison, they are like, if I say 20 times more than the female. I know that the male, like, the last count was 4,000 something, but the women are not up to 1,000. But I mean, 4 or 5 times bigger than the female. So if you say out of 100 people that are being considered for jail girl delivery, and that 10 women are released as again 90 men, then you look at the proportion too. That is what you have to look at, proportion too. But I can tell you, I saw women being released. I was there this year. I've been there, I think, twice this year. women were released. So, but again, maybe they are saying that the number should increase. But again, you can't increase. There are people that are not qualified to be released. There are people that you cannot release. Yeah,
So what are the grounds?
yeah, we release for the grounds of the chief judge releasing, from what we are told during the briefing, are people who have overstayed in custody, mostly people, for instance, that have committed minor offenses, and they took them to custody. Nobody is coming for no lawyer to help them. They are not even taking them to court, and maybe if they have been convicted, their conviction, their sentencing would have been like 1 year or 6 months, and they have stayed 2 years. So you release them. They have stayed beyond the years, the jail time, if they were convicted. And some were also some of the policemen that will just give you a charge, like what we call holding charge. They just give you okay. There's a matter that happened recently. They just consulted me yesterday, and I asked them to come today. And I'll give you an example now. They just asked them to come today, but because of this strike that started today, the 3rd of June, 2024, I couldn't, attend to them. Maybe tomorrow, I don't know when they will come again. What happened? The guy is a security in one of the banks in Port Harcourt here, and somebody came to the bank, parked his bike outside, and went into the bank to do a transaction. Went into the bank to do a transaction. After the transaction, he came out. There was he couldn't find his bike, couldn't find his motorbike. And he now said that the security men ought to know. What do you mean by ought to know? Usually, vehicles parked in public places are parked at owner's risk. Usually, that's the language. Parked at owner's risk. Now, they said the police, the guy went and reported to police. They went and looked at the CCTV. The CCTV did not cover where the guy parked his bike. So the CCTV could not see that aspect of the place, that side where he parked his bike. So they couldn't say this is the person who took the bike away. The guy went to report to the police. Police came and arrested the security man on duty, and in one of the banks here, and took him to the police station. Before they know it, they charged him to court, and they remanded him in prison custody. I mean, what kind of justice is that? Did you give me your bike when you came to the bank? No. Did I give you a tally? Did I give you a tally? Did the security give you a tally? No. So why are you now? Police, quickly, maybe you are giving money or something, interest. Well, just reminded the prison custody. So the man, in fact, the person that called me is the supervisor, is a superior police officer. I said, Oga, from your experience in the police, what I mean superior, very superior police officer? He said the boy is a good boy. The boy is one of his best. In fact, last year the boy won the best guard award for the bank. And the bank have turned their. I said, what about the bank? Is the bank? They say no, the bank they're not interested though. I said, but you still have to behave. The bank they're not interested.
But he works for them.
So they're not interested.
And it was in their premises.
Exactly. So they should have even gone to arrest the BM now. The BM should have gone to arrest the branch manager. Why security man? Did you put the vehicle? Did you put the bike in his custody? No. Did he give you a tally? No. For instance, if I enter your premises and you give me a tally, like Rivers State High Court now, they give tally. If you give me a tally and I drive in, so when I drive in and I'm still holding my tally, and my vehicle is taken away, I will hold the Rivers State Judicial, they will pay. Because I'm still holding my tally. So the gate man ought to ask you for your tally. Except if the thief is that smart to the extent of going to make a duplicate tally and come and steal, well, it's unfortunate. Judiciary will pay me. It's not my business. That's the truth about it. But if I drive in, like the Court of Appeal, they don't give tally, and my vehicle, somebody comes into the Court of Appeal premise. We have a celebrated case now, a judge, Justice, I forgot that, and the state. He took the state, and they said, no, a judge, he went to the bank, parked his car. That is our locus classicus. And the court, went to the Supreme Court, court said, no, they can't pay you because they didn't take custody of your vehicle. But if you take custody of my vehicle by giving me tally or even asking me to pay a token like the SPA, and my vehicle is driven out while I'm still having my tally. Because but if I don't have my tally and somebody was able to take away my car with a spare tally, I will bear it because I don't have my tally. It's possible I would have conspired with the person, giving him my tally to drive my car away to come and make claims. But if I have my tally, the bank will pay me, the SPA will pay me, the different judiciary will pay me. I'm just mentioning their name because they are people they give tally when you enter. But if you don't, nobody gave you a tally, that means if giving you a tally means I will be responsible, then you have to be responsible. Anybody that comes to driving a car out there, you must ask him for his tally. If he doesn't have his tally, that car should not leave. But like I said, if the person perfected his art by going to make a duplicate tally before that day and hold it, and at the end of the day, he uses it to take a car out, unfortunately, the people that gave me Italy will pay for it. So this is what happened. So this is a case study. And the guy is in prison. That guy can remain in prison for the next 5 years if nobody does. Oh yeah, he can be there. Nobody. Oh yeah. People are like that. So such people are usually considered for goal delivery. People that have been abandoned, people that have overstayed, people that sick people. The CJ can do that too. Not somebody that his case is going on. If your case is going on, they will not consider you for jail delivery. And all that is the law.
Thank you so much for being our guest. I'm sure I've learned a lot, and I'm sure our listeners, our viewers have also learned a lot. And we want to have you.
Yeah, I want to add. Yeah, for instance, now let me give this advice to the federal government and the state government. I have said this several places and several times. If you want to pay the civil servant low wage, make some provisions for him. Now, the federal government can say, how many civil servants do we have in Nigeria? Let's say 10 million. I'm just exaggerating. 10 million civil servants. Okay. Federal civil servants. It's okay, 10 million civil servants. I'm talking about police, army, navy, civil servants in the Ministry of Justice, Ministry of Interior, all of them. Let's say 10 million. Okay, let me separate the armed forces first. 10 million civil servants. Okay, we are going to build 20 million houses across the 36 states of Nigeria. Okay, or let's say 1 million house, 36 million across the 36 states of Nigeria. You are not going to be taking care of the people, the civil servants now. You're going to be taking care of civil servants in the next 5 years, 10 years. These quarters are built. And now, when you build these quarters, you put electricity in there. You take charge of that electricity. You take it from their salary. And you pay them low minimum wage. Then after you do that, you provide the same thing for the armed forces. Army. How many army do we have? You say 1 million. Let's build 5 million. You are projecting 5 years, 10 years down the line. How many for police? 1 million, 2 million policemen. Build 6 million across. No policeman should be transferred from Maiduguri to Port Harcourt to come and be squatting. You are encouraging corruption. Then you build their hospitals too. Army hospital like we have it, military hospital, naval hospital for naval personnel and their families. They will go there, take treatment. Government will pay, subsidize it, and take from their salary. My brother, a man whom you are taking away his housing problem, electricity problem, water rate is there, his official quarters, hospital for his children, school for his children. My brother, if you give him 50,000-60,000 naira, he wouldn't bother. He wouldn't bother. Because then, plus transportation, you make sure every police station have quarters. That is the way. Policemen doesn't live with people before now. In the 70s, you can't find policemen living on the streets. They live in police barracks, army barracks, naval barracks. They don't live outside. The same thing abroad. You don't see policemen, soldiers living where civilians are living abroad till today in England. You know more than me. The president, you know more than me. Oshomole, you know more than me. Governor Singh, you know more than me. With all of you know, Senate President, you know what I'm talking about. By the time you make all these provisions for them, you can pay them 60,000. You can pay them 30,000 naira minimum wage. That is the solution to this issue of minimum wage. Well, my father worked in one of the federal parastatals. Let me tell you, we never paid for house rent. We lived in quarters. We never paid for electricity. We never paid for water rate. We went to public school because they had their hospital. we are going to the hospital where my father was working. That was where we were treated. We were going there. This man, nothing. So it was only his salary for food. So why wouldn't the man be dedicated? And the man worked 35 years without query. Tell me who can work 35 years today without query? Nobody. Because I'm not being corrupt. Those guys were, that is why they used to answer those days, obedient servant. They say, yours obedient servant. That's how they signed their letters those days. Yours obedient. They are very obedient because you're taking care of them. Most of these responsibilities are gone. They will even concentrate and do your job. That is the only time you can tell police, don't be corrupt, army, don't be corrupt, navy, don't be corrupt, civil servant, don't be corrupt, because these things are provided. He will leave his office just across. He goes to his office. If you are transferring any policeman or any soldier or any civil servant from federal civil servant from here to Sokoto, there is accommodation waiting for him. As he's moving, somebody is leaving the accommodation and going to another accommodation. He's entering the accommodation. So why wouldn't they be obedient? Why wouldn't they not be corrupt? They don't need to. Some people will live that way for the next 35 years. They won't even bother you with this increment. They won't bother you with increment. That is a secret. Politicians, to look at that secret. Tinubu may not complete it, but Tinubu operation 20 million houses for civil servants across Nigeria. Operation 1 million house for soldiers. 1 million. Build it. But everybody should be accommodated to rank and file. To the last man must be accommodated. That way, you see people, we have sense of belonging. But in Nigeria, nobody has sense of belonging. Let's destroy the country. Let's do this. Nobody have that patriotic tendencies. Not our fathers their time. But today, nobody has it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
We have a pattern shot. Operation 1 million houses. Operation 20 million houses.
Yes.
So I'm sure our leaders will
go to River State. Sim should also do the same. Find out from the head. I think he will even know. Get me the number of civil servants we have in River State. You build accommodation. He's building one. I think they say 20,000 houses. I don't know whether it's for civil servants. I don't know who he's building for. I think for civil servants, which is commendable. Go to Degema, go to Pupu, go to Igbo, go to Degema, go to Abonima. Build these things there. Build these things. Civil servants, remove them from the market, so that they will not be struggling with us where we are paying us 1 million. They are struggling with us. A civil servant, how does he pay it if it's not corrupt? A policeman will go out. I mean, the truth be told, before you can get, okay, let's say a policeman that have just been employed, self-contained, how much does he pay? How much?
Well, we would have
400,000.
We would have loved to continue. But
thank you very much.
Our time is up, so we'll need to invite our guests back to the
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure being here.
To give us this roadmap, because this issue, we need to talk about this issue. Housing for civil servants, transportation, incentives, and all that. That's the way to go. Thank you so much.
Thank you.